have a call every week with a group of women, business women from different levels, different stages of life and career, different ages. And the question came up, what do you want? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why we don't necessarily know how to get from here to there. Let's talk about the fact that a lot of times we don't want to share what we want because we're afraid. We're afraid that we'll get shot down. We're afraid that people won't support us. We're afraid that people might steal our ideas or our dream. And so we were just really candid. And there are three things that I tell people when they're discovering what they want. Number one, what are you passionate about? What do you think about when you wake up in the morning, even if you're doing other things? That thing that's kind of buried in the back or that you wish you could do, but you're just too busy to accomplish or conquer? Or what is it that you catch yourself always doing? What is it that you have your friends tell you you're talking about all the time? That's the thing that will help you to get to what you want. The second thing I ask people is, how much money do you want to make? A lot of times we don't want to talk about finances. We don't want to talk about salary, but how much money you make determines where you live. It determines how you live. It determines what neighborhood you live in. It determines if you live in an apartment the size of a shoebox, or if you have a washer and dryer in your house, or you have enough disposable income to give to charities or to take an annual vacation. And so determining how much money you want to make will actually lead you to the things and the desires that you have. Because if you ask somebody, how much would you want to make? And they honestly tell you, it's because they're basing it off of the things, the desires that they really would do if they did have more money. And so that to me is a really good question. But the third question is kind of the opposite. The third question to discovering what you want is to ask yourself, what would I be doing if I had all the money in the world? If I had all my financial needs met, if money was no object, if I inherited $5 billion and I never had to work again, what would I do with all of my time? And what would I do with the finances that I had? Because your time is much more present, or much more important rather, than your salary. And so if you are being honest about what you would do if everything was already taken care of, you'll actually allow yourself to dream a little bit, to imagine, to inspire yourself, to motivate yourself to what your true desires and passions are. So those three questions: what are you passionate about? What do you talk about all the time? What do your friends always say you talk about? Even interview your friends. Number two, how much money do you want to make? Because that will be something that you consider based on what you really do enjoy doing with your time and what you really do want out of life. And number three, what would you do if money were no object? Think about those three questions as you enter 2021, and that way you can boil down your wants into some easy bullet points that are much more bite-sized and much more attainable. Once you know what those clear-cut answers are, you'll actually be able to come up with a process and a plan. I hope this helps you. Happy goal setting, happy resolution setting. I'll talk to you soon.